Welcome to Chef Alli's Farm Fresh Kitchen. It's time to gather around the table to cook and converse. Right here, we'll come together to learn about Kansas agriculture and the farm families that feed us as we discover new recipes, Kansas products, and farm fresh ingredients.
All right, it's time for Chef Alli's Farm Fresh Kitchen once again here on this Thursday morning. Of course, Chef Alli, it's National Beef Month. We're celebrating that with some beef producers from Kansas Farm Bureau. Sponsored by this segment is sponsored by Kansas Farm Bureau. Stacy and Jay Rezak from the Onega area up there in Pottawatomie County. You guys just went to California to kind of see what they do out there in the world of ag versus what we do out here in the world of Kansas and ag. Kind of tell us, Stacy, what were the big differences you saw?
Well, we visited a lot of orchards, a lot of lemon trees, orange trees, avocados is a very major crop out there. We visited strawberry farms, and we visited a lot of flower nurseries.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a great trip. I'm sure it's a great trip. Jay, a big difference, you're saying to me that the land is a little bit more valuable to them out there with all the population and whatnot. And what's the big difference you noticed?
Well, that's what the land was so valuable, that everything they plant was coming from a seedling. They start them in greenhouses and then move them out into the fields by hand so that to keep the growing time short. They have crops on the ground 365 days a year out there.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. Well, when the weather's nice like that, I guess they can, you know.
Yes.
No row crops that are planted like we do out here in Kansas.
So no combines out there?
We did not. I'm sure there's combines in California.
Somewhere, yeah.
We did not see them.
Well, a lot of this stuff, Stacy, was done by hand, the picking and whatnot, right?
A lot of manual labor, yes.
So kind of tell us, you saw, like, kind of give us a little bit more of an example of what you saw with that.
They had to pick the lemons, and they have to choose the ones that are ripe and ready, and they don't pick them all at the same time. And the same with the flowers. There were a lot of Gerber daisies is the big one that we saw, and they have to pick them all by hand.
And I thought it was cool that you guys said that when you were there, the people that are actually picking these, they have to know by looking. It's not like you say, okay, go down that row and
Pick 'em
cut
all.
all
Right.
those, pick
Right.
all those.
Right,
They have
no.
to be able to tell which ones are ready, because at the end of the day, they're going to be graded on what they've picked. And you said that can make or break a producer because of that's such a touchy, specialized thing. That's cool. It's neat to know that.
And, you know, there's a lot of cattle out there in California, but there are a lot of dairy cattle out there. They're known for their milk production. We're known for our beef production here in Kansas, and it is National Beef Month here in May,
Yes, and as we were talking earlier, typically the end of April, the first part of May is when our cattle go to grass, and so it's a very busy time. And that's what made me think of these. These are called the Beef Wellington packets. And typically when we're talking about beef Wellington, we're usually talking about a great big old tenderloin. But I took this, I'm using actually a deli roast beef that we have here that I mixed with garlic, mushrooms, and Swiss cheese. We take our puff pastry and lay it out, and then cut it into triangles. And then our filling, I guess I could pick this back up, just goes right here on just half of your triangle. And then you fold it over, and you just take your fork and kind of pinch the edges and make that look pretty. Brush an egg wash on there so that when it bakes up, it's all golden and puffy like that. So since your filling is already pre-cooked, these are only going to take about 20 minutes in the oven. And then to top it off, you've got your horseradish sauce. Now, I never get the boys to take that out the door. They're like, Mom, we don't care about that. Just give us the beef.
Just the beef?
But for me and probably for all of us, we would definitely want the sauce on the top.
I'd be
That's
sitting at
just
the
what
table
makes
enjoying it that way as well.
Yeah, so check out this recipe is at chefallisfarmfreshkitchen.com. And then also check my Facebook page today, and we're going to make the comment that you will need when you get there to be Gerber daisy, because that was one of the flowers that you guys saw when you were in California,
a lot
right?
of daisies, yes.
So that's the comment on the Facebook page when you get there today.
All right, recipes on the blog, comment on the Facebook page. Now, there's only one thing left. We need to take care of those.
Eat, yes, and we will.
Stacey, Jay,
promise.
thanks for your time this morning.
Thank you.
Alli, thank
Thanks
you.
for having us.
Yeah,
We'll be right back.
Thanks for joining us. Kansas Farm Bureau is proud to support hardworking families across the state, like farmers and ranchers who make it their life commitment to provide food that nourishes all of us. Kansas Farm Bureau, representing grassroots agriculture.